Hi, everyone. Three-dimensional earnings, airplanes, and an art show. We'll be discussing all of this and more.
The latest breaking news with Shaktilyn, latest in Upland, and the news with latest in Upland, with the metaverse, step into the world, ready to with the Shaktilyn, step into the world, ready to with the metaverse, step into the world, ready to with the with the Shack Attack.
Hi, guys. I'm Shaktilyn. It is May 5th, and I hope you're having a great Sunday. I am. I got out and I walked my dog, which happens every morning. We walked through some really tall grass and weeds in a field, and I think my dog loved it. I felt like he was out in the wild. It was kind of hard work, though, for me. Anyway, let's dive into some things today. And just remember that I play Upland the way that I play Upland, and I have my own way of looking at Upland. I am giving you my opinions. None of it is financial advice. All right, so let's dive into the concept of three-dimensional earnings. Now, something really nice happened for me earlier this month. I got a direct message in game from a player named Nature of Man. And he wrote to me just to say, hey, I've been out of the game for a long time, but I stumbled across your videos. And I just wanted you to know that you have done some good, because after watching your videos, I felt inspired to return to Upland. And so he's been in Upland playing and kind of relearning everything about the game, because he had been away so long and a lot of things had changed. And so it's been really nice to get that feedback that maybe something I said made a positive difference for somebody. Thank you, Nature of Man, for reaching out to me. I really do appreciate it. Now, in my discussions with Nature of Man, I was explaining the things that I like to do in Upland and the way that I play. And he had this light bulb come on in his head. And he said, multiple streams of multidimensional passive income compounding exponentially. He says the income is flowing in 3D, not just a line like it used to. And I thought that was brilliant. And so I wanted to take the concept, thank you, Nature of Man, 3D earnings, 3D income, multidimensional streams of multidimensional passive income compounding exponentially. So let's take a look at some of the elements of that, because I have spent really the past month thinking a lot about that. And it plays really well with everything that I've been doing this month. So, recently I've been kind of tailoring my property portfolio in such a way that I'm focusing on owning properties that have good earnings. So sometimes that means buying under mint. Sometimes that means heading into collection properties instead of the more generic ones. But, this focus on having just my properties in Upland giving me the best returns possible. But then we also have Upland with its introduction of gamified earnings. And so now we're actually using our properties in and other aspects of the game, like treasure hunting and racing, applying ornaments and, buying collections, all of those things now, they used to feel more like optional components of the game, but now they're not optional. Now, if you are focused on your earnings, then you're going to complete all of the tasks in order to get to receive the maximum earnings possible, which is about 15.2%. But then we have things like the ornament contest. We have the bundle sales, where you burn block explorers, and burning the block explorers fulfills one of the requirements of the gamified earnings, but it also qualifies you for prizes that you receive from Upland. Everything is starting to work together in Upland as a whole, so that there are multiple forms of reward for doing the activities that Upland gives us and partaking in the various features that Upland has introduced. Then, if you add to that the layer 2 games, and in particular, I have talked before about the Spark Tycoon by the UPX Spark Exchange. And what I love about this is, about Spark Tycoon in particular, is that all of these aspects of Upland that give us the returns, those work seamlessly with Spark Tycoon. So, for example, I am currently participating in the Blossom Ornament Challenge. And I've decorated 106 different buildings with blossom ornaments. And all of these buildings have to be located in collections. And you have to have a structure on each of those properties. Well, I didn't have a structure on each of those properties. So I went to the UPX Spark Exchange and I rented Spark. Now, yes, that does cost me quite a bit of my UPX, actually. But it ties in with Spark Tycoon. When I rent Spark from the UPX Spark Exchange, every building that I build gives me a free node in Spark Tycoon. It also gives me a structure that I can put an ornament on. So Spark Tycoon is allowing me to gain an extra source of revenue from things that I'm already doing in Upland. So while I'm building buildings on my collection properties for the Blossom Ornament Challenge, I am opening up free nodes within Spark Tycoon. And so I use my resources to build on those nodes. So I have like 100 lumber mills, 100 ore mines, and 100 and some windmills, etc. I just keep building. So I keep building in Upland, and every time I build in Upland using the Spark Exchange, I can build within Spark Tycoon. And it's all starting to compound now in a 3-dimensional way, so that the utility that we always wanted for our properties in Upland, it's here, and a lot more is coming. But folks, it's here. The layer 2 games, such as Spark Tycoon, gives us extra use of our buildings, which we are already making use of due to the various challenges and contests and gamified earnings that Upland is running. So I actually wanted to make a chart, a really clean colorful chart that shows all of the different ways that this stuff compounds and connects with each other. And my brain about exploded. I have pages of notes and drawings, and I couldn't figure out how to put that into a graphic yet. So I decided I would stop trying to create the perfect presentation for you, because it's been a while and I just need to come in and connect with you and kind of just let you know what I've been observing and thinking. And I really love Nature of Man's description of three-dimensional sources of revenue. And I think he nailed it with that. And we're seeing it now, but there's so much more coming. So, and speaking of Spark Tycoon, I hear some players who got really spoiled. They came in at the beginning and they were able to sell their resources for a ton of epics. And now the market is getting kind of saturated with resources, and the price for those resources has come down. And there's a lot of players that are grumbling about that and saying, "Oh, it's over." Well, I disagree. I am building for the long run. And so that's why I keep just building more and more nodes. Because Stosh and the team at the Epic Spark Exchange are working on a complete game. And it will be a complete game that isn't just limited to Upland. So there's, it's currently a layer 2, but they're also developing a layer 3. And everything is going to tie in together. And I have faith in Stosh and his team. And so I'm just accumulating, and looking forward to the future of Spark Tycoon. And I can't wait to see what the layer 3 will bring to the possibilities of the layer 2. And speaking of layer 2 and layer 3, there is a great developer that I actually met on Twitter, and he plays Upland, and he's building a layer 2 and layer 3 game. Let's see, what's it called? Let me check. It's called Nextland, and has great plans in progress for Nextland. So there's another layer 2 and layer 3 game coming. And yeah, I take the long view. I think that there's going to be so much utility and so much 3D revenue for our properties in Upland, and we're just getting started. But none of this existed when I started playing 2+ years ago. Literally 2 years ago, you could come into Upland and buy green squares of land. And when you bought it, it turned blue. And that was it. And I always knew that there had to be more, and that there was going to be more. And now we're seeing it. So I'm very excited to watch these 3-dimensional sources of income streams develop. All right, then we've got airplanes. Airplanes are coming, and somebody is going to get a private jet, which looks phenomenal at Genesis Week. And I wanted to take a moment to say that I nailed it. Let's, if I can share this. Let's see. Give me a second, because I never know how to do this. Wait a minute. Okay, I don't think I can. That's okay. in my last video, I predicted that one of the big announcements was going to be airplanes. And I joked around about hot air balloons, but said, yeah, no, probably not hot air balloons, but I bet we're getting airplanes. And so I said it at the risk of being declared a crazy person. And I'm just happy to report that at least that speculation was not crazy. It's happening. Aerial flight is coming to Upland. And so I'm very excited. The airplane is named the Albatross. And if you've been watching on Twitter, I love the word albatross. So I think that whoever receives this airplane is going to be extremely lucky for two reasons. And one is that it will be an airplane in Upland. And the second is that it's called the Albatross. So, all right. Then we have something very exciting, which is the first art show coming into the game of Upland. And I'm excited. I mean, because let's face it, it's the first in-game art show occurring inside of a structure inside Upland. But also, I'm going to have my art featured in there. And so I'm super excited about that. So yeah, now I need to share the art screen. Let's see. Let's try to present again. Yeah, I'm almost there. Okay. There. Now, do we like the way this is displaying? Sure. Okay, that's fine. All right. So Left House Theater presents The Artistry of Uplanders. Left House, Uplando, More Cheese, D-Tech, Shaktilyn, Mars Utah, Umbrella Boy, JWD, and Antique Master. So we're all going to be displaying our art. This is at the Left House Theater in San Francisco, May 9th through 17th. And it is located at 470 Peninsula Avenue. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, go ahead and do that. I'm really, really excited to have my art included in this art show, the first of its kind in Upland. And I hope you'll come and check it out. Now, you know, something I've been noticing is that some of us who play Upland all the time, like we are here every day, just completely absorbed into the world of Upland, we take certain things for granted. I'm going to try to close this now. Yeah, we take certain things for granted. There are things that are obvious to us because we are in Upland all the time. And they're so normal to us that we forget that some of the things that seem obvious to us are not things that other people know. I just had that experience helping somebody during the Washington, D.C. release, and they had never realized that you could expand a property card and look at the earnings and look at the collections. Well, I didn't even know that was a question. And a lot of you don't either. We take for granted the things that we know, and we forget that Upland is a multifaceted game with lots to learn. And some of the things that don't feel like questions to us are in fact questions. And so what I think we should do here is go ahead and walk into the Left House Theater, because I bet there are so many people out there that think, oh, that sounds cool. An in-game art show in a building in Upland. It sounds cool, but if you don't understand how it works, how are you going to get there? How are you going to participate? How are you going to look at the art? How are you going to experience the first art show ever in Upland history in-game? So let's share the Upland game on the screen, and let's do a quick walkthrough. Okay, let's see if I can make this a little bigger. How's that? Okay, let's try that. So when you're on the game of Upland, what you want to do is go down to the magnifying, the search glass down the bottom right, and click on directory, and then click on cafes. You're going to look for the Left House Theater, and that is right here at 470 Peninsula Avenue. Click on it, and this opens up the Nowhere platform, which is what creates the indoor experience. So you wait while that loads. And then you enter the space and you land. And then you can use the like WADS keys or arrow keys to move around. So, you know, some of the art will be over here in this lobby area. Or you can run into the area and go to the stage. This is such a cool theater. So right now we're seeing a lot of the art by Mr. Left House. This is the same building where his movie, Rabbit Hole, aired recently. And this is where the art will be. This is where the art show is going to be. So that's how you get here. And to get out, you go up to the top, click on the 3 little dots and say close and go back to Upland, confirm. And there you are, back in the beloved game of Upland that we are all so familiar with. So that is how to get to the art show. And okay. The other thing that I have been working on this month is applying for MetaVentures. And I've just gone crazy using my structures to open MetaVentures across the Upland map. I like to have the MetaVentures in many different locations because it's more convenient for people. At least to have, you know, one on each coast and maybe one on a couple of different continents. So that's what I've been doing. I've opened up Block Explorer and Variety Legit and FIFA Legit stores. But what I'm really excited about is that I have map assets coming. Let me show you. I just applied for my map asset showrooms last night actually. And there we go. This is Shaq's Love Shack. And the theme of my map assets is going to be all about spreading love across the metaverse. I'm sure you've all noticed that I use the red heart a lot in Discord, in direct message, and on Twitter. The red heart it's gotten to be almost a trademark type, it's a symbol, because Shaq always uses the red heart. And I do that for a reason. It's because I really feel that everyone needs love. And most people need more love than they currently get. And we need to be nice to each other. We need to make each other feel seen. We need to give each other respect and listen and support each other. And that's just like a huge thing for me. I believe so strongly in it. And so I want to produce map assets that are familiar in that way. They spread the message of love. So the map assets are still in the design phase, but I have just applied for the map asset showroom for Shaq's Love Shack. I've already got a Shaq's Love Shack factory, and I am opening up showrooms so far in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Queens, and Sao Paulo. And the map assets themselves are still in the design phase. I have the Tosh Shack working on that for me. And I can't wait to bring them to market in Upland. And what I have decided to do is to, so the art that we'll be showing in the art show next week, anybody that buys one of my NFTs will automatically receive one of my map assets for free once they are ready. And I am creating a Shack Attack server so that you can come in and register with me after buying the NFTs. And that way I will know that you get to have a map asset for free because you're an NFT holder. So that is the big grand plan. And I can't wait to open up Shaq's Love Shack across Upland. And I really hope that you all, I hope that the products put a smile on your face. Let's just say that. Now let me figure out how to stop sharing that. Okay, that wasn't so hard. Yeah, I'm really excited, and I've been super busy. One of the big things I've worked on this month is the Blossom Season Ornament Challenge. And I think I've figured out a really good system. And before we jump off here, I thought I could share that system with you. Because honestly, the ornaments with the crates and needing to move it to the property, and then needing the property to be in a collection, and needing it to have a building, and it is a lot to keep track of. And honestly, it felt overwhelming to me at first. But I went hog wild with the ornament challenge this month. And through it all, I think I developed a really great system. So let me show you how that works. I'm going to present one more time. Okay. So this is a list that I created. It's a spreadsheet. And you have all these different columns In fact, this is kind of the wrong spreadsheet, so I apologize. Let me grab a different one. Oh, dear. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I can't find the one I was looking for, but I made a copy of the one that I'm looking for, and I turned it into a spreadsheet for a different season. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so this one is for Genesis season. And I've just gotten started on it because I'm going to need more ornaments in order to compete very well in Genesis season. Let me make it bigger so you can see. All right. But the beauty of this spreadsheet is that I have located each of my collection properties. So that's over here in the address column. That is the address, all of the addresses. And then to the right of it, I list which collection it is in. Then here in the middle, it tells me what type of structure is on it. And on the very far left column, it tells me which ornament I own for that type of structure. So the way this is used is when I go to a MetaVenture and I buy an ornament, here we can see, oh, here's a micro house, and I don't have an ornament for it. So when I go to the MetaVenture, I say, okay, I need to find a Genesis micro house ornament. And then when I purchase it, it's going to ask me what address it should go to. This spreadsheet is so handy in telling me, oh, I'd like it to go to 2333 Glencoe Avenue in Los Angeles, which is part of the Venice collection. So this way, when I'm shopping for ornaments, there's no confusion about which ornament type I need or what address it needs to go to. I just buy it, I type in the address, and I place the crate on that property. And I know that this property has a micro house, so that's what I buy, is the micro house type. Once I buy the micro house ornament for Genesis season, I'm going to write it down over here so that I know that I have it. And that way I can keep track of what I have, where it is, and what I'm using it for, how it benefits me. These ornament contests are an amazing way to earn valuable prizes from Upland, including Spark and property. So it's just another way that we can utilize our property for a source of, maybe we don't call it revenue if it's prize winnings, but it has the same effect, right? We're using our property, we're getting the earnings from it, we're increasing those earnings by completing all of the tasks on the gamified earnings chart. We're building things on them and using that in Spark Tycoon. And we're buying ornaments to stick on those properties so that we can compete in the seasonal ornament contests and win great prizes from Upland. So pretty soon, once you get a system in place, the rewards start coming in from multiple different directions. So yeah, so I'm going to make one of these spreadsheets for every single season, and that way I will track which ornaments I need and where they need to go. And so hopefully, maybe some of you will find that helpful. It takes a bit of work to get it in place, but once you do, you're set. Assuming that Upland doesn't change the way things work, which is always a possibility. But anyhow, I'm going with it. I think it will be useful to me. Maybe it will be useful to you too. And yeah, I think that's all that I have for today. I just wanted to pop in here for a little bit on a Sunday and say hi to everyone and let you know what I've been working on and thinking about over the past month. So I hope that you're all having a great month. I hope a whole bunch of you did well in the Spark airdrop. And I hope that you're planning to come to Genesis Week. I think a lot of people have decided to come to Genesis Week, and it's going to be a great party. And everyone who's there will get at least one whole Spark airdrop to them. And some people might get as much as 5. So it's going to be a great time. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like meeting the community in person. It's the best thing ever. And I believe it's game-changing. So I hope that you'll come to Genesis Week. I may not be able to get another video out before then, but hopefully I will see you at Genesis Week and see you at the art show. I really hope to see you there. My DMs are always open for anyone that has a question or a confusion about Upland. Feel free to reach out to me. And I think that's all I've got, folks. So thank you for spending time with me today. Please remember to like and subscribe. I really appreciate your likes and your comments and your subs. So tap into the metaverse, and I will see you in Upland.
Upland Metaverse.